I am Kenneth Williams, and I am a sessional instructor at the University of Saskatchewan, as well as I'm a playwright. In the Western theater tradition, the person who wrote down sort of the rules of theater was Aristotle, and it was in his Poetics. And he, what he was examining was Oedipus Rex by Sophocles, and he considered it the most perfect play ever written. And he had 6 criteria and why he analyzed this play and said why it was so good. And it was like plot, character, ideal, language, music, and spectacle. And he said Oedipus had these 6 things, emphasized these 6 things most effectively than any other piece of drama that existed then. And we can take those 6 pieces now, even like over 2,000 years later, and still use it as a really, as a good way to start about analyzing theater. Starting with plot, it's more than just the sequence of events. You know, it's the action of the play. And in Aristotelian thinking, and from that evolving Western theater thinking, is that your plot, the action, has to rise. It has to come to a climax. It has to build. The stakes have to become increasingly more desperate as you go along. And now, you know, I use the words desperate, but this applies to both drama and comedy. You know, the action has to move forward. Then it comes to character. And the characters are not just the cast list. These are the people who essentially are driving your plot. Which comes to then idea. The idea is, what is the message of the play? What is the language of the play? What language you use helps your audience understand the world that you're in, and also helps your actors present it. Which goes to music. Now music, in course, again, Aristotle was talking about music was an essential part of the play. It was an essential part of what the player was creating and a part of the scene, because it accentuated what was going on. Now spectacle, because you know the English word spectacular, we say that a lot. Spectacular. Fireworks were spectacular. Spectacle, by that word, just seems to assume big, overwhelming, fantastic, flashy. But spectacle is presentation. A small play can be spectacular. A very small play with a very small audience, an intimate sense, is spectacular because spectacle is how it's presented. So you can have an overwhelming response in a very small space. But in a sense, all these elements combined come down to the presentation. The difference between theater, live theater, in his experience as opposed to, say, watching a movie or watching a TV show, is the spectacle part. Again, the experience part comes from the spectacle part. The spectacle is how it's presented. In live theater, it's presented in real time by real people, right in front of you. There's a different emotional connection. And the world that this person or these people are creating in front of you relies a lot on your own imagination. They're giving you hints as to what's going on, and so the experience is far more communal. Television and film, there's literally a wall with something beamed on it, you know, whether it's a screen or, you know, a film or a movie. And it's like it's being shouted at you, it's thrown at you. So a movie has to give you visually and audibly a lot of information. In a movie, you can sit and you can either experience it by yourself, but very rarely nowadays do we actually experience it with a bunch of people. There may be a lot of people in the room, but you're not experiencing the movie with them. You're experiencing yourself. And that's the biggest difference.